So much to unpack today. The great change when it comes, it's not in the mass of fireworks, but in that period of time where the energy is sustained. And this past week, the energy has been sustained in the Schumann resonance. And our bodies are being prepped for the great change that's about to happen. We see the activities across the world, and we have conscious events in life that you might see on the TV that are getting the collective to talk and realize many different things that in this the action that we're going through right now. It's the hermetic principle of rhythm. And what is playing out right now is the overhaul, the boomerang effect, if you will, of so many things that occurred in 2020 and 2021. But this retrograde type of effect, we had to live through it. And this is something that I share on the channel, that you have to understand on this journey, on your spiritual journey. You have to have the experience. It's the only way. You're going to have to actually feel. You're going to actually have to overcome. And the people that actually lived through this time period, you were able to overcome. Now, all of this activity, it's changing us. So we have a lot to break down through the bodily changes, the symptoms that you're experiencing, why these things are occurring, and there are no coincidences that in this past week, we saw a big clown show on the TV. And this was a revelation that now across the world on the internet, many people are talking about and having the discussion, which we're supposed to do. Years ago, and with censorship and people weren't allowed to speak, the concept of being able to speak the truth is so important. Communication, so important. And a lot of that stuff that you had to shove down, it caused you to take on damage in your body. When you're not able to speak the truth and you shove the energy down. And that's why a lot of people are going through a solar plexus over. Are you going through a solar plexus overhaul right now? I appreciate everyone getting on the live. Grateful if you hit the like button so others will catch this information today. So we're going through, during this time period, body changing, buzzing. Maybe you're having the buzzing in the ears. Right? The ringing in the ears, and like a buzzing in the ears, the heart palpitations, the vision has been one of the things that have very off the charts. You might be really sensitive to, like, say, the screens. We are seeing, flashes. Some people are seeing those, shadows in the peripherals. But the vision itself, and you might feel like you have to almost close your eyes to rest your eyes, going through this recalibration and the changing solar plexus. This change is a time period where our ego takes a hit, because there are things that we're not able to do. No matter how much, say I wanted to, I could not eat how I would normally eat. So during the shift, to manage it, it's not what you want to do, but what is required. What is required? Right now, there's an overhaul that for the long term, for the long haul, that's why we have to be spiritual warriors here on this channel. That's why we have to take ownership of our ascension, because no one's going to ascend for us. No one's going to evolve our bodies for us to survive the upcoming years. What is required at this time is the massive change that's occurring in the solar plexus, your base energy center. In recent times, I did full videos on this. If you happen to stumble in today, watch the video in its entirety. Okay, so that solar plexus going through an overhaul. Have to change our ways, have to adapt, because as the stomach is changing and the liver is paying a major role in this. So many people have held in the anger from those sick people that you see there out on the TV. We just saw one of those clowns this past week. So if your soul, you have a spiritual immune system, Dr. Gabor calls it healthy anger, and that because you're supposed to actually feel it's telling you, it's warning you, something's wrong. Sometimes the parasite's out there. Do you understand what I'm saying? And your immune system is saying, you know, danger. This is not a good person out there. Why are we feeling this? Feelings and emotions, right? But the problem is now you stored it in your liver. So now we have to release it from the liver. We have to release all the anxiety from the solar plexus. We have to get all of the shame. Maybe you were gaslit for your views back in 2021. Maybe you spoke the truth. Maybe you stood up like your Uncle Mike against tyranny and you want to stand up for your rights and make your own decisions, and you were gaslit and shamed. So that shame is held in our sacral and in your hips. So all of these things, you could raise your hand. Are you feeling it in your solar plexus, right? The liver, the hips, right? All of these things, we took a big damage over the past few years. We are being reset and recalibrated right now. Our nervous system, during this sustained energy that's shown in the Schumann resonance, our nervous system is being recalibrated to the life we are now going to live. However, we cannot take on and hold on to all of the traumas, all of those negative thoughts, all of that anxiety that we held in our midsection. It's got to go. And we're going through this massive shift, and there are people in the world that are activating at this time. And there are people that are going to decide not to continue the journey. We are seeing both. We are seeing both at this time. The Schumann resonance is about consciousness. Okay, all biological systems are influenced by the Schumann resonance. The solar flares affect our brain waves. So does the Schumann resonance. There is not a coincidence that there was a big revelation this week. And this is the driving force. So it's the body. This reality, right, is a broadcasted frequency, right? So the outer world, if you want to truthfully manifest, you could click subscribe to this channel, because not only are we getting through this moment in the history of humanity, then we are going to now move forward as creators of this new earth. And those are the people that are subscribed to this channel. Heavenly Sunlight. We need the heavenly sunlight. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am here and ready for my beautiful experience. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that heavenly sunlight. The sun is shining down today, baby. So now, you know, there's a lot going on in the body, a lot of traumas, a lot of people also in the world, they took things over the past few years. And there was a major event this week. And this was about, even though there's a scene that's playing out, like the VR goggles that you put on, it's getting your nervous system, it's getting the internal changes, the worthiness that we're not going to take this anymore. This past week, we saw a man, a clown, go on the TV. And when he was asked questions, he refused to answer the questions 111 times. This individual, this clown, this piece of trash was supposed to help people get better. And why did this person refuse to answer the questions 111 times? 111. This is a divine. Do you understand the synchronicities, the numbers, the codes? Answer my question. Why did this person that claimed to be a scientist, why did he refuse to answer the questions? Someone's got to answer Michael's question, because now I ask the questions. I'm the teacher, and now I lead. Not some moron on the TV. And if you resonate with this, you smash the like button. Enough of this crap. Enough of the false idols. Now the sons and daughters of God will take their rightful place. Do you understand? Clown. There are many people that were affected by this years ago. This is the big hermetic principle of rhythm. Now the pendulum is swinging back the other way. We've seen a lot of, and what you need to do, you can watch me. Let me be the lighthouse for you. I ain't gonna hold it in no more. We ain't gonna shut up no more. Years ago, maybe you were shut up for your beliefs. You're gonna stand up today, son. We are the lions. And this energy, this is what is activating us in our internal authority. If you missed my podcast on how God wants you to walk in your I am presence, your internal authority, that's what this energy is about. Not some moron on the TV that refuses to answer questions 111 times. And your spiritual music, when you hear the arrogance of that voice repeating the same thing, the arrogance, did you feel it? Did you hear it? It's enough. That's what this energy is about now. This is it, kid. Sunshine, I appreciate the super chat. It's a hot episode today. You are appreciated. I appreciate that, Sunshine. Thank you so much. So a lot of people, you might have friends, you might have family that were affected by this. You might have stood up for your rights. Many people lost millions of dollars, jobs, family members and friends are hurt. A lot of stuff happened in the past few years. But what we need are real men and real women to stand up as the leaders of the earth, unapologetically standing up. No more censorship. No more bullshit. This is the energy that's a lot of people are waiting for those. A lot of people are waiting for those apologies, but they never got them. Right? I see that a lot of people writing about that on Facebook. A lot of us were gaslit. So and this is how you held this. And what I'm doing is I'm teaching the world. Anyone that's hearing this, maybe you were gaslit back in 2021. You held a lot of shame, right? Yeah. You had all this negativity and you just wanted to speak your truth. You wanted to live in truth, right? So you have to manage the shift that's occurring. When you release this pent up energy in your solar plexus, in your liver, okay? The hips are releasing and opening up. Maybe there's people that are tuned into this. You feel like you're 100 years old, right? The back, and you could be flexible. And the back, there's such a deep tightness in your lower back. That represents support. You are not supported. You were probably supported by no one over the past few years, right? You were like the odd man out or the odd gal out, okay? So all of these symptoms, all of these emotions are stored in the body. They're coming up for release. In the physical world yesterday, massive volcanic eruption. Shared the post on Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook. So this is the micro and the macro. What you see, the events in the world, the events that are happening in your body, everything's coming up for release. The pent up pressure. And it's totally, Valentine, a lot of people are now looking at that little boy and looking at what he did back in the 80s, right? Everything's coming up for review right now. if you're hearing this message, you better make sure, especially in this world, everything's out there now. Lead with integrity if you're going to be a leader. There he is throwing out the first pitch, right? No one could be there, right? But he's celebrity. But there's a lot of people in this world right now. We're done. We're done with this. Okay? So now what we need to do is have real, actual solutions for our brothers and sisters. And so as this comes up right now, it is important that we are managing our health, all right? Allowing the stuff to purge out of the body. Okay, so especially in our solar plexus, you could have your toxins and you have your traumas. Right? So those toxins could build up in that solar plexus, in that region. You also can have your traumas from the past few years. The emotions also is going to affect us. Cortisol levels spiking over the past few years. You were gaslit by these clowns on the mainstream media. You were gaslit by them. Someone posted on Facebook all these people and all the quotes that they said if you didn't take that thing, and how you were the bad person, and bad things that, I mean, really stuff. It's wild what was said. If you're sitting here today, you really survived one of the greatest, not the greatest, but one of the most terrible events in the history of humanity. We need to move forward in abundance. We need to move forward today, but honestly, to just have the gratitude to say, wow, we made it through all this. Now we have to come together. Now we have to support our brothers. Listen, I have a lot of brothers and sisters that took that thing. They had to feed their children. Don't be disrespectful to people that maybe we have to help those people. That's what we do here. We help those people. You understand? You have to understand people's mindset. People had to feed their children. This was my journey. God gave me an opportunity. God gave me an opportunity to be the scientist to outshine that piece of shit. It's funny how things turn out in the end. A couple years ago, you could just be a middle school scientist, a middle school science teacher in Brooklyn. And then you could have a piece of trash that also was from Brooklyn on the TV, celebrated like a celebrity. People aged like milk, fake. But the truth lasts the test of time. I hope I can inspire people. You could be a common man, and you're better. You're better than those fake people that they put up on the TV. You're better than them. God wants you to walk in your I am presence, and that's what I did every step of the way. Everything's coming up now. Just like the stuff is coming up in the body, stuff is going to come up on the news, on the TV. We see it spreading across social media. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's pointing it out, because that's what we do, royal family. We point it out. We point these things out for other people. We are showing the way to other people. And to think about it, you're disrespected, I was disrespected, and we held these things in for so long. Well, that actually is taxing to the body. When someone censors you, when someone, tries to get you to not live in truth, there's physical ailments in the body. Now, going through this massive shift this past week, this is it, baby. So energetic shift after shift, the sustain. So for me on my journey, that we are in this this moment. So it's not about that big spike, but look at the consistency, the length of time, forcing us, we're forced to assess what how we're eating, what we're drinking. I'm spending time staying extra hydrated. I practice what I preach. I share authenticity with the community. Sometimes you'll see me here, drinking out of my coffee mug. There's no coffee this week. There's hydration. So we have to be with the ebbs and flows. We have to understand all of these things are connected. The physical body. Okay, Dr. Bruce Lipton, the real doctor, Dr. Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief, not the schmuck that said, I don't know the answer 111 times. Do you understand? Do you understand the shift? No, Dr. Bruce Lipton, the biology of belief, right? So we have to go through the changes, and we're getting rid of the fake and the phony, the consciousness, the revelation that is occurring right now in the energy that is riveting through us. You could see it riveting through me right now. No punches pulled on this podcast today. No punches pulled on this podcast today. Because this is where we have to be. So many people were disrespected, and you were holding on to all that shame. You couldn't go out on the internet and speak your truth in 2021. Do you remember that? Do you remember the negative things that were said by the celebrities on TV? Like Little Jimmy? Remember Little Jimmy? Not looking too good right now. Not looking too good. Anyway, this is about the everyday life, people. And when we realize that our body has the ability to heal, to overcome, to detox. I talk about my journey of detoxification on this channel. You could click subscribe, check that video out. How to reset your body for optimal health. I share about my journey. So regardless of who's listening in, whether it's you have a lot of traumas that you have to detox. I mean, there's a lot of negativity, chemicals and stuff that we have to detox, right, from those thingies. But our body has the ability to detox. And we want the body to detox and not hold on. In a modern world, we're trained to hold on to everything, but we actually want to be like the water right now. We want to allow things to flow. And the stuff that has been stored up in the body, the traumas, the censorship, all of that negativity is coming up for release as the volcanoes are erupting in the world, as the earthquakes are, the new post they have put up, earthquakes 5.0 and higher. Not just that 10 earthquake. It wasn't 5. So there's so many earthquakes. The magnitude is shaking. Your inner world is shaking. The inner world, the outer world. And what you see on the TV is a show. But at the end of the day, it's about your inner world that's shifting. Billions of people. There are billions of timelines right now going down to one. Who will you be at the end of the day? Who will you be when you close your eyes? You see, your life could take a big turn. And there's a little window, window of time at the end of the day where that head hits the pillow at night. That is where you're going to create the next part of your reality. You have to sleep well. You have to sleep peacefully. And that's why your peace has to be your top priority. And on my journey, I fought for my peace. Yeah, I got a couple of comments. Listen, I understand people don't understand. They say, oh, it must be easy. I said, it must be easy. Do you understand all the fighting I had to do? I had to fight for everything I had. I had to fight for everything. That freedom ain't free, kid. Freedom ain't free, kid. Know it. So we had to go through it. We had to go through. I've been through a lot of trauma. PTSD, okay? We were serving in the spiritual warfare, what was going on. So now it's imperative that we let go of the past, speak it out, as I'm doing on the air, speak it out, let it go, right? Get it out of don't hold it in, say, I gotta say, and then you feel better. I feel better, right? I feel better. And then we move forward and we help other people. We assist other people. We bring people together. And there will be people that choose. I see the Facebook post. There's still people that they're after this week, right? And they still maybe get a little triggered, cognitive dissonance. So I'm here. If you're new to me, I teach ascension, psychology, and quantum shifting. Okay, and I make the lessons relevant for the everyday life people. Carl Jung, okay? Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, then face their own soul. Isn't that a powerful quote by Carl Jung? I want you to go out in the world, right? You could look at the NPCs of the world, the sheeple of the world. Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, then face their own soul. Okay, so as I've shared on the channel, this has always been for your soul. And some people don't want to face their own soul and the decisions that they made and the content of character that's in that soul. So as we move forward, and we know this, you have to realize everyone has free will. There are people that want to really move forward in life and overcome. Right? Everyone has that free will opportunity. And then there's going to be people that still gaslight you or get angry or so on. So I want you to think about Carl Jung. I want you to think about that and people are saying, this is absurd that it's still going on, especially if a person still gets angry or triggered after this past week. So it's a big shift. Heavenly Sunlight, I had to pull up another device. We glitched the live stream again. It's frozen over there. Thank you so much. The door to the ark of the outer world has officially shut. Hallelujah. Absolutely. Stacy M, thank you for the membership. Let it go. We have to let it go now. Absolutely. Let everything go. Golden Lioness, I love you, the Golden Lioness. Thank you so much. Thank you for your wisdom, love, and commitment, Mr. D. I appreciate that, Golden Lioness. Thank you so much. So what happened was God gave us an opportunity in the past few years. And God put us on an adventure. We actually went on an adventure. And this is how we have to start thinking about it. Because even though if you choose, like, this is your mission if you choose to accept it. This is how reality actually works. Okay, this is the game of life in the simulation that we're in. Holographic reality that is coming from the broadcast of the internal frequency. When I was a boy, I said I always wanted to be a superhero. Be careful for what you put out there, light warriors. So God put me on a journey to be that superhero. I was kind of the quiet guy. I just went along with, things and peaceful. And then you had to tap into your superhero powers because there was quote unquote villainous people out there. They took your jobs away, right? We all lost the money, took the job, right? People were forced to do things against their free will. Know about free will? Do you know about free will? That's why a lot of us are here right now, because free will was violated and the laws of the universe cannot be violated. You know about free will? You ever hear about it? You know about it? We're gonna make it hard for them to work, and you, if you want to go to the supermarket, you need to do that. No. Now, the times have changed. Remember? Remember all those things? Remember those things, light warriors? Remember all the trauma that you held up in your solar plexus? You had to deal with all this stuff. It's gotta come up to release now because it's over. The show is over. The game is over. And now a new game is beginning today. Yeah. A new game begins. One chapter ends. God puts us through chapters in our life. God puts us through seasons in our life. And even though we kick and scream about it, I do it. We have to go through survival season in the wilderness with zero help. There's no help. All right. I did a full video on it. It is the truth. Some people didn't like it. It is the way. If you're going to go on this path, all the help dries up and God just sits there and what? Go get him, kid. What? Okay. How many people went through this? Let us know in the comments. All right. So, but this was our training grounds. This is the rite of passage because we're going to a world where the leaders of this new earth, they're going to have the real stuff, not some schmuck on the TV that says, I'm not going to answer the question 111 times. I hope everyone floods the chat with 111. Because these are the numerical synchronicities this is a gateway. They actually gave us a gateway. We're passing through the gateway. When you see 111, do you understand this is synchronous? God, even though it's not the nicest of person, but that there's a synchronicity that God is now giving us the 111. 111 times that piece of trash did not answer the question. Accountability. A lot of people don't like accountability. And what he's got the people, again, Schumann resonance, consciousness. So now people are going back to the 80s, going back to the 90s, researching. Did you research the things from the 80s and the 90s? So now everything's coming up. It all comes up now. And now we have to move forward and heal our brothers and sisters. But the healing starts within ourselves. Okay, I've been through a lot in the past couple of weeks. New to the channel, check out the previous videos. But this solar plexus overhaul, right? You could be brave. You could go through it. But we took on a lot of damage in our solar plexus, in our internal organs, where we hold in emotions that are important in life. What are emotions? Emotion, energy in motion. And multiple times over the past few years, I was attacked so many times, light warriors, until I became numb to it. That which shall survive. Evolution. And this is just God testing you. How bad you want that change? How bad you want that dream? How bad you want it? And we could say how grateful. It's a little bit of a paradox, but you could say, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the trials and tribulations because God put us on the longest journey to greatness. Otherwise, we would have been doing the same job that's not serving our soul. You know, when my head hits the pillow at night, I say, wow, even though the life isn't perfect, even though, it's very rough. If you stand in truth, if you're a healed divine masculine, you're going to come up against a lot of slings and arrows, brothers. All right. It's the way of the world. You trigger a lot of people simply by your presence. You think, oh, everyone's going to, I'm doing the right. Everyone's going to love me. Okay. You'll see what's out there. Because people don't want to face their own soul. Remember, Carl Jung, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, than face their own soul. And we're watching that. So when you want to understand the human behaviors that you're seeing, you see this human behavior. Why are they? That's the answer. They'll do anything. They'll do anything but take responsibility. They'll do anything. Anything else. Okay? Stacy, thank you so much for the super chat. I did not follow any of the rules. No masks, no thingies. Lived my normal life. I was living in Northern Virginia at the time. No one said anything to me. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, I talked to a lot of my my friends here, and I share some of the stories that I had to live through at the time. And I was telling them, like, you guys, you didn't have to go through the absolute grueling density that was New York. It was unbelievable. And, constantly, now I did this in the podcast. The mental health effect of the lockdowns. If you never watched that, listen to that podcast. I think it's going to help a lot of people. A lot of people are finding me right now. How you doing? I appreciate you being here. The mental health that was affected by the lockdowns affected a lot of people. And, we have to reassess, all these things that are going on in the world. Because a lot of people in the mind, they're mental. I had friends. I never saw them again. They never made it back to the gym. The gym. I tell people a lot. The gym is about the mind. And this is a psychological thing. You can't quit. And once the body goes at rest, and that's why, ride the bike, being active, simple things, walking. I walk in nature every day. I'm walking, right? Lisa, thank you so much for the super chat, 1111. Love wins, light warriors. I appreciate that, Lisa. You have to be a light warrior at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to be a light warrior at this time. And you need to stick together, because you're creating a constructive interference wave in science, which we're all broadcasting that frequency. Instead of bickering back and forth, getting on the same page. And now we say, oh, wait, now we have achieved our freedom. This was always about our freedom. Because when you don't have it, you feel it, that soul and that body is going to tell you. And some people, this is a major, so even though this is a major event that's unfolding on the TV, and what I'm here to do is talk about your everyday life, you might feel like you're trapped in a relationship. You might feel like you're trapped in a job that's disrespecting you. So all of these, you feel that you're going to feel this in your body. And this is a major overhaul. Yesterday on this channel, this is such an important event that's going on right now, spiritually, energetically, and I concised everything into a 17-minute video for all of you to understand that your timeline will shift, and you have to understand this. All right, this is your reality. It's not about your mind and the great changes that are happening. Your conscious mind. So you have to understand, right now, your solar plexus, your nervous system, and deep within parts of your fascia. All these things are coming up for removal. Watch that video. It will pop up at the end. It will be in the pinned comment. Know these things. Because the clowns on CNN ain't going to tell you these things, right? But Uncle Mike will tell you, all right? Watch the video. So we have to go through the great shift. We have to be loving to our brothers and sisters, because guess what? We're all waking up, but it's at a different time. So if they're waking up now, you're supporting them. and we're picking each other up. Pick each other up today, and let's LFG. That was the end of yesterday's lesson. LFG, baby. That's how we have to get up today like warriors. LFG, humanity as a whole, and move forward. And it's, as I shared in that video, peace begins in the stomach. Peace begins in the stomach, you know. Living in you know, the life in 2021, there was zero peace, and I'm here to tell you, you have to put self-care as your top priority. There are I compartmentalize my day. I suggest you do the same, and spending the time for the nervous system reset. So powerful. That's what we talk about on this channel. Nervous system reset. Because if your nervous system, if you do not turn off that fight or flight mode, parasympathetic mode, these things, and it's never going to stop. Got to switch the mode. And consciously, got to switch your mode. Yeah. Got to turn up the volume. Right? No. You got to turn off NPC mode, and now we're switching on creator mode. Does that make you feel empowered? Does that make you feel strong? This is what we need to do right now. So there is a lot that is occurring right now. I hope that this message helps you, inspires you. Keep speaking the truth, keep living in truth, and combine and come together, because that's the constructive interference. There were so many people afraid to speak up in 2021. And I hope I inspired people that watched this episode throughout. Keep speaking the truth, because the common man, the common woman, the meek shall inherit the earth. That didn't mean that you were literally meek. It means the everyday life people are now the leaders, not the clowns on a TV that can't answer the question 111 times. That's the beta. You understand? That's the beta. Now, walk with integrity, walk in truth. And it's a good day. It's a good day to let go. And I'm speaking. I hope everyone, you know, practices, you know, what I do. We ought to love all of our brothers and sisters, and support them if they come asking questions. And then there will be people. Again, go back to Carl Jung and what he said. There's going to be people that's going to carry on and let them carry. Okay, you could go over there. I got to keep my frequency clean. Stay clean, bro. Right? You see how I stay clean? Don't have those. Stay clean, bro. Keep the frequency clean. Be on the clear channel, because when you're on the clear channel, then you get in the transmission. Then you hear the word of God, right? I'm in constant communication with God. So, some people, you know, they treat it like a genie in a bottle, or you can walk the path of the warrior like I walk. You click subscribe, take the journey. Let's improve our everyday lives. Let's improve our everyday lives. It's the point of the channel. I am nobody. Thank you so much. I am. I have an unspoken prayer request for someone. I appreciate that. Well, we're praying for everyone. We're praying for that everyone can actually have the physical experience. You had dreams. You had dreams your whole life. It was your inner child. And so many people, they deserve to experience the dream with the five senses. There's people that go out and get content on social media, and you know, it's the, you know, your imagination, and it's the dreams. But it's now time. It is now time to physically, with your five senses, have the wealth, finally have the unconditional love of an equally yoked relationship. Finally live in peace in your surroundings. You don't have to live in an area of it's just total chaos. We got to get rid of the chaos and we got to get to the peace. And we pray that everyone experience that peace. This is the Sunday sermon. All right. I appreciate each and every one of you, and leave a comment down below if you've experienced any of the changes. Is the Holy Spirit fire blazing within you right now? And check out the video. It's going to help you because everyone is going to be experiencing this shift. So the timeline shift, there are physical things that we kind of go through in the body, and really understand that your nervous system is driving. It is a driving force behind all this. Tune in to a brand new frequency. Tune in to our everyday lives. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you being here. And you could have listened to anything out there today, and you chose to listen to this podcast till the end. And I'm so grateful for that. And I love you all. And we have a lot to do. There's a lot of work to do. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get to work. And it's going to be a great time moving forward. Don't live in fear, because it's a liar. Live in truth, speak the truth, and all of a sudden, your timeline begins to change. I love you guys very much. Bye for now.